Thank you so much, Gloria. Who would have thought it? We're talking about charioteering at a dementia conference. It's amazing. I love this whole sector. I'd now like to invite Althea and her balloons onto the stage. The title of her talk or presentation is Dementia and Performance Art, a resource for communication, expression and play.
Feel free to pass them back. Or come grab one. You're all supposed to sit so much closer. Yes. Feel free to continue playing with them. And if they pop, I'm sorry. My name is Althea Gordon and I am the creator of Mind the Change. I often find it hard using coherent words to explain exactly what I do. The conversation is often filled with big sound effects, big arm actions, and unless somebody who knows me very well is present to help decipher exactly what I'm trying to say, I'm often not successful. What I do know is that what I do isn't anything new. I do what thousands of children do every day, and I do what people such as the wonderful John Killick publish books about annually. I play. I do exactly what you all did just then in the first few moments of this presentation. How many of you, while you were looking at those balloons, thought about your email inbox or what you need to organise for dinner tonight? How many of you were thinking about the difference of time between home and Perth? If we're honest, I think we can say very few. Performance art does that every time you engage. You get taken from your everyday place into a world of possibilities, a world where there is no right or wrong, no sense of urgency, a world where anything goes and is indeed possible. It is into this world that I take my workshop participants and where we play for hours on end, discovering ourselves, ways to express our stories, and overall, to have a fun time with some new friends. I often say to people who are new to me in my workshops, drama isn't about becoming the next Hugh Jackman or Kate Blanchett. It can be about building self-esteem, a sense of self-worth, self-discovery, communication, and play. It's these disciplines I would like to talk about briefly today. If I can get my PowerPoint to go. The idea for these workshops began after my own mother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's at the age of 55 and wanted to take part in something that wasn't a support group or a sedentary activity. After several rounds of grant funding and pilot projects, Mind the Change was established to run these performance-based workshops across Australia. Having documented our pilots and workshops from the beginning, we began to notice several themes emerging to do with play and communication. People were relaxed, they were enjoying themselves and communicated easily within the workshops. We then had feedback from some of the carers saying that daily tasks after the workshops were easier to complete because their partner was in a better mood. Others mentioned how their husband or wife was more engaged with the family when they returned home. I believe it's to do with what I call the new car syndrome. You know when your friend buys a brand new red Toyota, tells you about it, gives you a ride in it, and then for the following 2 weeks, all you see on the road are red Toyotas? The same principle applies here. People participate in our workshops and their awareness on communication and play is elevated through the activities they do. And because it's delivered in a non-threatening manner, it has a lasting impression. It has a ripple effect through these people's lives. I have to state at this point though, it's not as easy as playing a few games. You must have sincerity, integrity, and honesty in every moment. Everyone has different strengths, a different sense of humour, and finds different things engaging. For this reason, you need flexibility, spontaneity, and a big bag of ideas up your sleeve. For example, I had a gentleman in a workshop flat out refuse to participate. When I asked him why, he said, "Well, this is just silly. You're all just being silly." And he was right, we were. So we had a chat about it, and he assisted me with props for the rest of the day and watched what we did. His wife joined in and he was happy with that, but he did not want to participate. At the end of the workshop, his wife came up to me and thanked me for what I thought had been a failed attempt at brightening this man's day. She then explained to me that as a couple, they used to argue all the time. In the last 3 years, he hadn't argued with her once. He just went along with what she had asked of him. In that day, in her eyes, she witnessed his argumentative spirit and him standing by his opinion, watched him dig his heels in and say no. And I too learnt something that day. During the workshops, we focus on things such as supported success. If people find it challenging to be creative unassisted, we put building blocks in place to support them. We also look at utilising open-ended outcomes. There is no right or wrong or correct way of completing activities. We look at communication, so looking at verbal and non-verbal communication and how you can play using one or both methods and its effectiveness. And of course, we enjoy having lots of fun in the process. Things we focus less on are structure, the social norms, why things happen, and the time or length of an activity. The reason we focus less on these last few is because they all inhibit what we are trying to do, create. In saying this, the activities we use are just the vehicle to get the message across. We have had what I call aha moments in every workshop we run, from both the support person and the people living with dementia. We run our workshops for couples to attend together, whether it is husband and wife, mother and daughter, or the person with dementia invites a close friend. These aha moments come from enjoying a shared experience, creating something together with a new group of friends. To be creative and communicate, we need to let go of what we know and recognise the alternate forms of communication that can be discovered through performance art. To illustrate what I've been talking about today, I have a brief video created during one of our workshops for you all to view. This piece was created entirely by the participants, the music chosen, the words spoken, and then the photos that display the activities we enjoyed together. I often lead by example in a lot of activities we do, and as will be demonstrated, this particular group decided to take my example literally, and everybody introduces themselves as me, as Althea.
My name's Althea. Any mess-ups, remember Althea. My name's Althea. My name's still Althea. And I've got to go because Althea's coming.
My name's Althea. It starts with A, but it's Arthur. And I was a plumber, and my wife, who's the best part of me, was Dallas.
Was.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, I'm Dallas. It's I'm Mary. We're married.
My name is Althea, and this is my wife and our
This is our firstborn child, and his name is Althea, and she's really cute, and I, Joanne, have just thought so much about her, and so it was so nice because she ran away from home when she was little, and I didn't see her again until 3 weeks ago here.
thank you.
There will be a slide with my details on, appearing sometime in the next, there we go. Thank you so much for listening today. I do have some brochures. If you would like to get one off me, that's fine. Or if you have any questions, please come and speak to me afterwards. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Althea. We're all inspired, aren't we?